the accident? Was there insurance on it?
Yes, ma'am. There was insurance on it.
If not, I'm going to make you look so ridiculous.
There was no insurance on it.
And a driver won't yield.
I took responsibility for the car.
You took responsibility because the accident was your fault.
This is Judge Judy. Sharice Riley is suing fellow motorist Zero Leva for running into her car when he ran a red light.
Judge, this is case number 65 on the calendar in the matter of Riley versus Leva. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, ma'am.
Miss Riley, whose car were you driving on the night of this accident?
It was my car.
What kind of car was it?
It was a 2011 Nissan Altima.
Did you have insurance on the car on the night of the accident?
Yes.
You had liability insurance.
Liability.
Not collision.
I believe so.
Well, the insurance company didn't pay you for your car.
Not the car, but my bodily injuries, yes.
How much did your insurance company pay you for your injuries?
$5,000.
Did you have a lawyer or did you just settle with them?
I had gotten a lawyer.
Mr. Leva, whose car were you driving on September 11th, 2019?
It was a coworker of mine. I was trying to buy the car the next day.
Don't tell me what you were going to do, what you should have done. Whose car worker didn't have insurance on the car that you were driving?
Yes, he did.
May I see proof of the insurance?
Yeah, it's on the... Of course. I believe the insurance is right here, underneath on the police report. It's AAA insurance, and then the policy number is right here as stated.
Did you try to contact his insurance company?
My insurance did, and so did my lawyer.
And what was the result of that?
They both said that there was no insurance on it.
I'm going to call up her lawyer, sir. That's very easy for me to do. Do you understand, Mr. Leva?
Yes, ma'am.
This is not going to be easy. Was there insurance on the car?
Yes, there was, ma'am.
On the date of this? Fine. If not, I'm going to make you look so ridiculous. Because you know whether or not there was paid insurance on this car that was a valid insurance policy. You know that because she was taken to the hospital and she had a lawyer. And they couldn't use the insurance on that car because it was not valid at the time, either because your coworker didn't pay the premium or whatever.
I bought the car the next day after the accident, ma'am. I took responsibility for the car. I mean,
just a second, that's not my question. Mr. Leva, you bought the car the next day. On the day that you drove it that night, was there insurance on it?
Yes, ma'am, there was insurance on it.
Not the day.
There was insurance on the car the day of the accident.
Okay. May I have the name and telephone number of your lawyer?
It's actually in my phone, if I could get it from my phone.
Yes, sure. Absolutely.
Her name is Jennifer, and the number is 424.
Jennifer what?
I'm not sure of her last name.
How did you get this lawyer?
I have the Jacoby and Myers papers. They're right here.
It was through Jacoby and Myers?
Yes.
Okay. Did you get a letter from Jacoby and Myers indicating that they had no insurance?
No. They had called me through everything and had told me that he did not have insurance.
Doesn't answer the phone. Yeah, there's no question, Mr. Leva, that there was no insurance on your car. You have a counterclaim. That's how I know there was no insurance on your car, because your counterclaim owes me the value of the car, which you didn't own, according to you, the night that it was in an accident. You did sign the counterclaim, did you not?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were stupid enough to buy a car that was totaled? Is that what you're telling me? You bought a car the next day, and you're countersuing because you say the value of the car is zero, but you bought it the next day.
Yeah, I bought it the next day because my wife and I were originally planning on getting this car. However, we got into this car accident.
You and your wife's not here, right?
No, she's at home taking care of the baby.
Yeah, listen, the two of you idiots, according to you, went out late at night with an 8-month-old baby.
No, it was just me.
Just a second. You went out, according to you, according to your statement, you and your idiot wife went out late at night to a gas station because you had to buy distilled water for your baby. Well, a normal person, a person with a half a brain, late at night, if they needed distilled water for the baby, the wife stays home with the 8-month-old baby, and the husband goes and gets distilled water, if that's what you were going for.
Yeah.
Late at night with an 8-month-old baby.
Yeah, I went by myself. She wasn't in the car with me, nor was my child in there. It's right here on the police report. It's literally just me in the car. And I went because that's the only car that I had at the time. And I'm the husband, I provide. So I went out late at night to get the distilled water.
You said that the car was undrivable after this, Mr. Leyva. It was undrivable. It was totally taken off the axle. So what I'm asking you is, why did you buy it the next day?
Because the agreement with me and the coworker was to buy the car.
You know I don't believe a word you're saying to me. Do you know I don't believe a word you're saying to me?
I'm sorry you feel that way, but that's literally how it happened. I'm sorry if you feel like I'm an idiot, but it's just that's how it was. Well, literally, we had an agreement to test drive the car, and I bought it the next day. I could have easily been like, hey, man, I'm sorry, like, I'm not buying this car. It's totaled, but I took responsibilities for that. My actions, and bought the car off of my coworker. You took responsibility because the accident was your fault. It wasn't my fault. I'm sorry. It's on the police report. It says nobody at fault. Listen to me, Mr. Leyva. Somebody has to be responsible. I have a feeling that the person responsible for this is the person that had no insurance because she ended up in the hospital with 3 dislocated discs. She was in physical therapy for a long time. Her car was totaled. And according to you, you bought your car the next day. So I do have a problem, sir. And if you can't see why anybody who sits on this side of the bench would have a problem with your story of buying a totaled car the next day when, according to you, there was insurance on the car, which could have paid to have the car either repaired or paid for something, and you paid for it the next day, I just don't buy it. Unless the accident was your fault and you felt responsible, and there wasn't insurance. So you were at a 4-way intersection. According to you, you were making a left turn. Yes. Go ahead. Let's take it from there, Miss Riley. The east and west had turned green, so I was waiting for my turn. Once the left turn signal turned green, I had went when I was halfway in between the intersection and where I was turning into. That is when we had collided. And what collided with what? He had collided with me. There's a diagram right here of me turning, and he had gone through and hit me. My car had been right on this side, while his car was where my car was turning. What hospital were you taken to? I was taken to Desert Valley Hospital. Were you taken by ambulance? Yes. Did you stay there? I was there for a couple of hours, and then they had released me. Do you have the report from the hospital? I do have the hospital papers. I'd like to see it. Okay, now I want to see the police report. Is there a second page to this police report? Yes. What does that mean, special information, cell phone in use? Was anybody using it? Useless. Anyway, you received $5,000 for whatever medical injuries that you had, pain and suffering. So what you're suing for now is the value of your car. Did you have the car fixed or was it totaled? No, it's still totaled in my driveway. Did you get an estimate to fix it? I didn't. Okay. I do have pictures of them. I'd like to see it. Here's a picture of it on this side. Oh, I got it. Yeah, he hit you in the back. Got it. Do we have a value of a 2011 Nissan Altima? I tried to get it, but what is it? Yeah, got it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. Thank you. We're finished.
Case is concluded. Parties are excused.
I think it was a good decision. I even have papers in here that...
She's turning in front of me and I was going straight forward. But I mean, she's the judge. She knows the law. And I mean... My insurance had claimed that it was 100% his fault. That's her interpretation of it. So I have no argument against her decision. He even told me that it was my fault. Don't call the police. I'll give you cash. It happened. And I'm glad it's done. And it took about a year. I'm hoping it's time to get my car fixed.
All parties in the matter of Vera versus Hardman. Step to the podium, please.
Carmen Vera Melgar for an unpaid loan to pay his rent, utilities, and a motorcycle bill.
Miss Vera Melgar, how long were you and Mr. Hardman dating?
A year and a half.
Did you ever live together?
No. I would stay in his house and he would stay in mine.
This is about a loan that you allegedly made to him. Mr. Hardman says there was never a loan. You did things to help each other out. He helped you out. You helped him out. He acknowledges that you gave him a little bit of money, nothing close to what you say you gave him. While you were together, while you were dating, did you buy a car?
No.
Did you buy a car?
No, no.
So he never co-signed for a loan for you?
He did, but not for a car.
For what?
To take my car out of the impound because they impounded my car at his complex. Oh, no, that's different.
Just a second. So he paid to get your car out of impound?
No.
He co-signed for you to get your car out of impound?
No. It's 2 different times that I asked for that loan. When he co-signed, it was for my tuition for school. He never made a payment.
So he co-signed for your tuition?
He never made a payment.
I didn't ask you whether he made a payment. I asked you whether he co-signed for a loan for you.
He did.
The answer would be yes.
Yes.
When did he co-sign for a loan for you?
August, September 2019.
And it was for that semester?
I
or
did.
You haven't paid it back yet?
I paid.
So that loan is no longer in existence?
No.
Is that correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Now, tell me, what other time he helped you out financially?
Never. He didn't help me.
Now tell me when you gave him money when he lost his job.
I let him borrow money. I did not give him money.
When? When?
It was a period from February 2019 to April 2019.
So February, March, and April, over a 3-month period.
Correct.
So you didn't give him money in one lump sum. It was different amounts of money for the 3 months.
Correct, when he was unemployed.
Okay. And how much did you give him in February?
Do you want to see the bank statements? I didn't add up by the month. I added them up.
I want you to tell me what you gave him in February.
I don't know.
You said you didn't give it to him in one lump sum.
No, altogether, it's over $3,000. I don't know exact.
No, exact is what I deal with.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
These are dates. He asked me for money.
When you went to a restaurant?
Yeah, when we went out.
I'm not getting involved in that.
I wasn't going to ask for it, but he's wants to charge me for dates.
I don't care. What's next? And you're trying my...
Carmen Vera Melgar says ex-boyfriend Michael Hartman owes for a loan.
Now, I want you to tell me what you gave him in February.
I don't know.
You said you didn't give it to him in one lump sum.
No, altogether, it's over $3,000. I don't know exact.
No. Exact is what I deal with. If you didn't give him money over in a specific time, you said he knew you were getting your tax returns. I'm reading your complaint. Your complaint said he knew you were getting a refund from your tax returns. And in the beginning, I loaned him $3,500 for his rent, motorcycle bill, and utilities. That's what you say. Now you tell me that it wasn't $3,500. You gave him money, or you say loaned him money, over a period of time, February, March, and April.
It's an estimate.
And I want to know how much money it was in February. I mean, did you keep a ledger? Did you keep a notebook? Did you keep a something?
My bank statements.
Well, I'd like to see them. I would like to see your bank statements for February. And point out, in February...
That's my tax refund?
Just show me what... No, there's your tax refund. I want you to show me what you gave him in February.
Registration, rent.
No, I want you to tell me from your bank statement, what you say were his bills that you paid.
This $500 is for rent.
Which one? Just a second. Just a second. So what you're telling me is on February 22nd, pay attention.
I am.
What you're telling me is on February 22nd, you withdrew $500 that you're ascribing that you gave to him.
Correct.
You say it's for rent. That doesn't say it's for rent.
It doesn't.
All that says is that you withdrew from your bank $500. What else do you ascribe to him?
These payments are for his motorcycle.
What is that? Okay.
Motorcycle
Card purchases,
payments.
that...
Or parts
Just
for
a
his
second.
motorcycle.
PayPal, Gums Motors, card $99.99. Is that your motorcycle, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Did she also in February give you $500 in cash?
No, ma'am, I do not recall.
Okay, let's move on. We have $100 for the motorcycle. What else is on that you would ascribe to him?
These are dates. He asked me for money. He was going to pay me back.
When you went to a restaurant?
Yeah, when we went out.
I'm not getting involved in that.
I wasn't going to ask for it, but he wants to charge me for dates.
I don't care. Listen to me. I'm not getting involved in that, madam. Courts don't get involved in that.
Good.
What else is on this list?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
In April?
No, ma'am, I don't recall that.
That's your name.
Where?
There, Rashad.
Is that your first name, Mr. Hardman, Rashad?
No, ma'am, that's my middle name.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Carmen Vera Melgar says ex-boyfriend Michael Hardman owes for a loan.
Listen to me. I'm not getting involved in that, madam. Courts don't get involved in that. Good. What else is on this list? So far, we have his motorcycle payment of $100.
The gym I paid for.
Okay. Is that your gym membership?
His.
Yes, ma'am. I added her to our gym membership.
You added her to your gym?
Yes, ma'am. And I do
Next.
have that.
Keep going. Keep going.
The Palm Avenue, Imperial Beach, the money I take out, it's for him, for his rent.
That's 2 payments of $500.
Yeah, he was unemployed for a long time.
Hey, madam, you have to understand, courts don't get involved in this kind of nonsense when 2 people are dating with each other and they're intertwining money. So far, I have $100 for his motorcycle payment. Keep going. That's February. Let's go to March.
Hold on.
What is card purchase? Cox, what is that?
His bill.
For what?
For his internet bill.
Did she pay your internet bill, sir? For that? That's $181. Okay, let's go to February. Finish it up. What's next in February?
His motorcycle payment.
That's a second motorcycle payment in February. Where is that?
This is his motorcycle payment. This is another one for $300.
No.
The previous one was a part for his motorcycle. This is the motorcycle note.
Oh, got it. Okay. So the previous one was not his motorcycle payment, the $100. It was a part. Do you remember she paid for a part for your motorcycle?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And your motorcycle payment was to Landmark Financial?
Yes, ma'am.
$507 and $300. Okay, let's go to March.
So this is his electric bill as well, $201. And this is another payment.
Was that your electric bill? Did she pay your electric bill, sir, in February?
No, ma'am. I don't recall that.
I lived in TJ, so that's not my bill.
Let's go. Next March. Let's go March.
Oh, I got April.
So nothing in March.
Yes, but they're dates, so you said no. This is more money I transferred to him that he asked me.
Did she transfer money to you, $200 in April?
No, ma'am. I don't recall that.
That's your name.
Okay. Where?
There, Rashad.
Where is his name?
In orange.
He continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by. Have you been cheated? Go to judgejudy.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
Did she transfer money to you, $200 in April?
No, ma'am. I don't recall that.
That's your name.
Okay. Where?
There, Rashad.
Where is his name?
In orange.
Is that your first name, Mr. Hardman, Rashad?
No, ma'am. That's my middle name.
His name is Michael.
Michael Rashad.
I'm going to give her that, sir. Anything else, madam? So far, he owes you $1,288. What's next? And you're trying my patience.
It's money I took out.
Yeah, that's not happening. That's not happening. $1,288. And you're very, very lucky, madam. Don't give men any money anymore unless you get a note. Judgment for the plaintiff. We're done. Goodbye.
Case is concluded. Parties are excused.
And on the next Judge Judy.
When somebody isn't telling me the truth, the hair on the back of my neck stands up. You can't come into court and think that the judge is stupid.
Next Judge Judy.
I thought she was very fair.
It's not fair.
I really don't feel like I owe her anything.
He's agreeing that I let him borrow money for trying to help him out, not to be in the street.
I paid to get her car out of impound when she was arrested.
He got divorced, and we got into an argument.
And throughout time, I would help her.
He got kind of physical. He called the police, which are his neighbors, that people he knows.
It was all part of a relationship. I help her, she helped me, and that's how I look at it.
Oh, I'm going to be single forever?
I hope to never hear from her again.
Why did you leave your mother's?
I ran away after she sent me to jail.
She didn't send you. The police took you to jail.
A young woman runs into trouble.
So you moved in with your grandfather.
Or does it run in the family?
He punched you?
And that's when the chokehold happened.
I wouldn't call it a chokehold. I grabbed him.
He's on parole for first-degree murder.
This is Judge Judy.
23-year-old Cassandra Courier is suing her grandfather, Michael Walker, for an illegal eviction, a false restraining order, and physical abuse.
Order. All rise. It's case number 432 on the calendar in the matter of Courier versus. May be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Miss Courier, how old are you?
23.
What do you do for a living?
I'm unemployed at the moment.
Prior to moving in with your grandfather, who were you living with?
My mother.
For how long?
2 months.
Prior to that, where were you living?
My grandfather.
Prior to living with your mother, you were living with your grandfather?
Correct.
And then you moved back with your grandfather?
Correct.
In what month did you move into your mother's?
May 17th, 2019.
And why did you leave your mother's?
I ran away after she sent me to jail.
She sent you to jail for... She didn't send you. The police took you to jail.
False accusations of domestic violence.
She made an allegation against you of domestic violence.
Correct.
Now, prior to living with your mother, you say you were living with your grandfather.
Correct.
Where were you living with your grandfather?
Tustin, California.
And why did you leave to go to your mother's house?
There was issues within the household between all of us, or betwixt all of us.
Well, not all of you. There was you and your grandfather. Who else?
And my mother. She moved in. She lost her house.
But then she moved out and you moved with her.
Correct.
And then you moved back with your grandfather.
Correct.
After your mother had you arrested, and you stayed with him until when?
From July 7th to July 19th.
Of 2019.
Correct.
You're suing him for an illegal eviction. Is that the eviction 19?
No, ma'am.
What eviction?
The eviction that took place on December 20th.
So you moved in with your grandfather just for a short period of time, 7/7 to 7/19, and then you left.
In between.
And where did you go?
In between that time, we moved on July 24th to a house in 29 Palms.
Who was working?
No one.
Who was paying the rent?
My grandfather.
Okay.
He bought a house with a VA loan.
And you moved in together then on 7/24, so you moved in with your grandfather. Were you paying any of the expenses?
Yes.
What expenses?
Cell phone, car
that's
payment.
your cell phone.
My cell phone, correct, on his
good for
account.
you. What else?
Not true here.
What house expenses were you paying?
None.
None. Okay, so you were a guest in his house. Look at me. So you were a guest in your grandfather's house.
Incorrect.
Like if I invited one of my grandchildren to come and move in.
The only...
Just a second. One of my grandkids said to me, "Can I come and stay with you, Nana?" And I said, "Sure." And then they got sassy or nasty or did something I didn't like, and I said, "Pack up and go." You think that that's an illegal eviction?
No, he can only have me living with him. He's on parole for first-degree murder.
Just a second. I didn't ask you that. I know that you wanted to get that in there. But what I'm asking you is, you lived there, you weren't working, and you guest in your grandfather's house.
Correct.
Well, then he can't illegally evict you.
The only reason he can live in this house is because of me. It's on his parole.
Who cares?
I care.
What? Well, I don't care. The law doesn't care. You may care, but the law doesn't care. You're a guest in his house. He's paying the expenses on the house. You're living with him, and if something happens, and he said to you, "I don't want you to live here anymore. Goodbye, pack up and leave," that's what you have to do. You're a guest, and if a parole board wants to come after him for that, that's their prerogative. That has nothing to do with you. Where did you move to in December when you had this kerfuffle with your grandfather?
My car.
When was the last time you had a real job?
May 17th.
When you were living with your mother?
Yes and no. That was the last day that I left from my job. It was Robert Half International. I was working there for March to May.
For 3 months?
Correct. Before that, I was a general manager for 2 years, House of Pokey.
Well, why don't you have a job now?
It's been difficult as far as living in my car for the longest time. I did have a job. I signed paperwork, submitted it. I was under the impression that I was going to be getting paid $3,000 a month for a shipping and receiving clerk. And when it came to February 14th, I was ready.
Just a minute, a shipping and receiving of what?
Clerk.
Did you work for somebody?
I did.
And you worked for them and you didn't get paid?
No.
In February?
No, ma'am.
Do you know why?
No one's responded.
Who is this?
This is Christopher.
No, you don't have to get up.
Yes, ma'am.
Who is he?
A friend. He's allowing me to stay at his house.
Where?
Pomona.
Okay, so you're not living in your car anymore?
Not since December 27th.
Oh, well, that's great. Nice of you.
Ma'am.
So you're staying with him?
Correct.
And looking for work?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. The last part of your lawsuit, because he doesn't owe you for an illegal eviction, he filed a restraining order to keep you out of the house because you evidently didn't want to leave. You have a punitive damage for physical abuse. You want to tell me about that?
Yes. So it started on November 17th of 2019.
November 17th.
Yes.
2019.
Yeah, around 9 a.m.
And what happened?
There was an altercation that had occurred betwixt my grandfather and I, resulting in him putting me in a chokehold and putting his hands on me, physically abusing me.
No, that's two different things. Putting you in a chokehold and he punched you?
He did.
Do you have any photographs of injuries?
I do not.
Okay. And what was the argument about?
Over me touching the electrical box to the house.
What do you mean touching the electrical box? Explain it.
The house that we had bought was...
No, you didn't buy it together. He bought it. You had no money. You had no job. He got a VA loan. And the fact that he may need someone to live with him right now, he's here and nobody's taking him into custody because you're not living with him, okay? So I want you to get that windshield wiper that out of your head. What do you mean touching the electrical box?
I was trying to figure out why our well pump wasn't working or why our refrigerator wasn't receiving water to produce ice.
And?
As well as filtered water to the sink, and I have a video of that.
And?
It resulted in me taking a loose wire from the floor. When I picked it up, it sparked, so the next move I made was went to the electrical box to turn off the power, thus not getting a spark anymore. He was upset at the fact that I'm not an electrician, so I should mind my own business in that department.
Okay, so he said to you, don't do that. Don't touch anything that you don't know anything about. You're not an electrician. And what did you say to him?
I didn't say anything, and that was an issue to him, that I wasn't responding.
Go ahead.
So I went to, when I turned around,
And?
I went underneath his arm to escape, and that's when the chokehold happened.
You want to tell me your version of that event on the 17th, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. I was on the ground underneath the tractor, working on the tractor. I heard an electrical explosion, and I heard her say, "Oh!" I came out from under the tractor. I thought she'd been electrocuted. And she was standing near the well pump, and there was evidence of a large spark. She had tried to attach a 240-volt wire to ground. I said, "What are you doing?" And she says, "I'm trying to find out why we're not getting any water." We were getting water, Your Honor. She was confused. So she went in. She said, "Which one of these breakers turns off the pump?" I said, "Leave it alone. It's none of your business. It has nothing to do with you. Leave the pump alone."
Incorrect. I didn't ask him.
Don't speak. He didn't interrupt you. Go ahead.
So she went to the electrical box, and she turned a breaker off that said pump on it. It's the wrong pump, not the pump that she was messing with. And then she started heading back out to the pump. And I did stand in her way, and I was not going to let her go back out to the pump. And she charged me, and she went under me and knocked me backwards out the door. If I had not grabbed onto her, I would have landed on my back on the rock walkway. I grabbed her.
Did you punch her?
No, I did not.
I don't believe that either. When's the next incident of assault?
Okay, I also have November 15th.
And what happened on November 15th?
There was an animal abuse. And what I'm referring to is a dog that that was under our care for Rover.com. It's a dog sitting business. He overdosed her for 3 counts. Instead of giving her 3 cc's of insulin, he gave her 30. And unfortunately, she had multiple seizures and died.
What does that have to do with you?
Well, that's a part of abuse.
Next.
November 8th, I ended up calling the police on my grandfather.
Tell me what happened.
Correction, December 12th.
Go ahead.
So my grandfather had, the first event was he called the police department and filed a false accusation that I had stolen a cell phone worth $1,000 of his. So when I arrived back from the Sprint store that day, he held out his phone to me, and there was an officer that stated he was going to be arresting me on a felony charge for this cell phone. The reason how this cell phone came into play was the altercation betwixt my grandfather and I of him laying his hands on me. Later that night, I threatened to call his parole officer.
Well, just a second. You gave me 2 instances that happened November 15th that happened with a dog that had nothing to do with you. Then you told me about November 17th when you got into a family dispute because you were touching his property and he grabbed hold of you. did not punch you. You don't have any evidence of that. So you're still living in the same house.
Correct.
Right? So now we're talking about almost a month later.
Yes. That next incident was the cell phone.
And you were living in his house for that month.
Correct.
Next.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Finding a job for an able-bodied 23-year-old person is not so difficult. There are help wanted signs all over for all kinds of positions. You may not love them, but they're a place to start.
And later today.
Tell me what happened.
It was after 11 o'clock at that time. It was closer to 12.
Well, actually, you say it was about 9.
No, it was late.
You said it was about, I'm reading your answer.
Cassandra Correa says her grandfather, Michael Walker, evicted her by way of a false restraining order. She also claims her grandfather physically
suggest that you're a young woman, you're 23 years old, you're unemployed. I'm going to suggest to you that you have somebody who appears to be a nice person. He's letting you live in his house while you look for a job, okay? Finding a particular job isn't always easy. But finding a job for an able-bodied 23-year-old person is not so difficult. There are help wanted signs all over for all kinds of positions. You may not love them, but they're a place to start. Do you work?
Not currently right now, ma'am. I'm going to school.
And who takes care of you?
I'm at my parents' house currently.
So she's living with you in your parents' house?
That's correct, ma'am.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you very much. I've had enough of this case. Thank you. Case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I feel threatened for my life.
I didn't owe my granddaughter anything. I was trying to help her.
The physical abuse of living with somebody who did 30 years.
She ran up $14,000 on my credit cards. I had to take my credit cards away from her.
I want to live my life.
I still love her.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter, Rogers versus Robinson. Step forward.
Sean Rogers Sr. is suing his ex-girlfriend, Carla Robinson, for hospital bills and lost wages after he broke his foot when she maliciously knocked him down the stick.
Had a relationship for a period of time. That didn't work out. While you were involved in this relationship, you had some property at her house, clothes and other things. Did you live together?
No, I spent a lot of nights at her house.
So you had things there?
Yeah.
And it is your allegation that when you went to retrieve some of that property, there was an altercation which resulted in you having a broken foot.
Yes.
And that Miss Robinson is responsible for that.
Yes.
So I see your foot is in a boot.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me when this happened.
This happened, it was like 1st of November.
So what happened on November 1st?
Well, I called her. I wanted to pick up some items from her house, so...
What items?
House shoes, clothing, toothbrush.
What time did you call her?
It was approximately around 8:30 p.m.
Did you speak to her?
Yes. I spoke with her on the telephone, telling her I was on my way.
You told her you were on your way, you didn't ask. So far, is that correct that he called and said,
No, that's not exactly what happened, no.
Well, tell me what happened.
Okay. Mr. Rogers have a very bad habit of...
Don't tell me what
it was after 11 o'clock at that time. It was closer to 12, actually.
Hold on a second. Well, actually, you say it was about 9.
No, it was late.
You said it was about... I'm reading your answer.
Oh, okay, because he typically comes...
That's what you said in your
okay.
answer.
Okay.
Does that refresh your recollection that it wasn't midnight?
It seemed like it was a lot later, but that's what I said.
Okay, and go ahead.
Okay, and so at that time I didn't want to open the door, not without somebody being an attendant or something like that. So I offered to call my sister to be there, but he didn't want that. So I never opened the door for Mr. Rogers. I let him ramp and rave outside. So at this point in time, I did not want to let Mr. Rogers in, which he intentionally gets mad and takes the mailbox off my house and threw it, and then threw some garbage cans and some other stuff. So when I heard him do the sing that I call it outside, I didn't open the door or entertain it. I didn't know until the next day. I didn't know until the next day that he's supposed to be hurt his leg.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If you have a broken foot...
At first, when it broke, I'm thinking it's like severe sprain. I'm like that manly man.
I want to know when you went to the doctor.
I went the 2nd, and they told me that my insurance wasn't
Don't tell me what they told you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Sean Rogers Sr. is suing his ex-girlfriend, Carla Robinson for hospital bills and lost wages after he broke his foot when she maliciously knocked him down the stairs.
Because prior to this, Mr. Rogers, once before, and this time, maybe that's why I got this mixed up, Your Honor, is because then it was 11 to 12 o'clock at night. The officers could tell you, because he called the officers on himself to come get a saw, and it was about 12 o'clock at that time at night, and I explained to them I wasn't going to open my door, and after speaking with Mr. Rogers, they saw why I would not open my door, and then I proceeded to get him his saw at that point in time, but he likes to wait till these...
With the police officer?
Yes.
But you had other things that were in the house, clothes, shoes.
Right, and at that time, I could not locate it, everything that they were looking for, because I would wash these things and hand them to them.
Who's they?
The officers, because they stood at the door for me while I get those things. The second time, I just didn't open the door at all.
So the second time, which is on November 1st, when he came to the house, you didn't open the door at all?
No, Your Honor. I opened the chasing door. It's like a storm.
Who did you go there with?
A friend of mine drove me around there.
A friend drove you there?
Yeah.
Where is he?
He couldn't make it because of work.
What do you do for working, Mr. Rogers?
Well, I'm a direct salesman. I walk through the city selling socks, T-shirts, boxers. I have a large clientele of people. Everybody know me in the metro area.
What metro area?
Milwaukee.
On the street?
Yes. Directly.
Okay. Now, I'd like to see your medical records, sir.
This is what I have because...
no, I'd like to see your medical records. That's what this case is about.
Here you are.
Sir, I don't see that you went to the doctor's office or a hospital either November 1st, November 2nd, November 3rd, November 4th, November 5th, November 6th, November 7th, November 8th, November 9th, November 10th, November 11th, November 12th, November 13th, November 14th, November 15th, November 16th.
There's an explanation for that, Your Honor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by...
Are you in a family dispute? Go to judgejudy.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
Go ahead.
When I went on the 2nd, my United Care health insurance had elapsed, so I just come out of Chapter 13 bankruptcy, which was...
Sir, I can't help you without medical records. I can't help you with that. I have to see a doctor who saw you either that day or the next day. You have a doctor who sees you, who was reported, it's not helping you.
Judge Judy, okay, at first when it broke, I'm thinking it's like severe sprain. I'm like that manly man.
I want to know when you went to the doctor.
I went the 2nd, and when I went the 2nd, they told me that my insurance
Don't tell me what they told you.
Right, and so I went later.
What date later?
I went on the 19th.
Goodbye, Mr. Rogers. We're done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
She totally caught me off guard, just started punching me. She had pushed me down.
How did her nose get broken, Miss Reyes? You did, in fact, punch her.
Next Judge Judy.
My foot is broke. It didn't get broken any other time after the fact.
I always knew that she was going to see through it.
I went backwards after handing me my stuff, and all my weight landed on my foot.
I did hear something outside, but that's what he does. He's an actor.
She's just got a feisty way when she's upset.
Don't come knocking.
When you buy a used car, you buy it as it is.
This couple thought they were covered.
If repairs exceeded $1,000, you would take the car back.
Correct, Your Honor.
Then a breakdown showdown.
As soon as we got on the freeway, the check engine light turned on.
You sold this car within a couple of months. Something doesn't smell right to me.
This is Judge Judy. Zachary and Alexa Perry are suing Diane Donges for the refund on the sale of a car, repair costs, and registration fees.
Your Honor, this is case number 22 on the calendar in the matter of Perry versus Donges. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated.
Thanks, Bird. Mr. and Mrs. Perry, you purchased a used car from the defendant that you found on Craigslist, and that was in July of this year. Is that right?
Yes.
And now we're about 6 weeks later, and you're dissatisfied with the car. You want your money back.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's where we're at. And Ms. Donja says he bought a used car. He bought it as is. There was no warranty on the car. Do you have a bill of sale?
I do, Your Honor. I brought it with us today.
I'd like to take a look at it.
Awesome.
Could you put it up there for me? Thank you. Make, license, model, VIN, understands, confirms that the above information is accurate to the best of her knowledge. Refund, if does not payment, results in $1,000 or more. The sale is nullified. And then the seller's name, July 17th, and the buyer's name. Okay, so that's a very interesting. Who wrote up this bill of sale?
I did, Your Honor.
Ms. Donja, you read the bill of sale before you signed it?
Yes.
And you understood that by signing this bill of sale, what you were saying is that you were only warranting two things. That the sale was nullified if the car didn't pass smog. Did the car pass smog?
It did, Your Honor.
And the only other thing that you were warranting was that if repairs on the car exceeded $1,000, you would take the car back.
Correct, Your Honor.
And I would assume Mr. and Mrs. Perry are going to tell me that the transmission went on the car and the repairs are in excess of $1,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you bought the car on, did I see July 17th?
Yes.
And I understand, and I read in the papers, that when you bought the car, you knew that the air conditioning wasn't working.
Yes, so the defendant had told us that it should just need an AC service.
Well, what she told you is not an issue. You knew that when you bought it, the air conditioning wasn't working.
Yes.
How much did that cost you?
So it was only supposed to be an AC flush, costing about $125.
That's not what I asked you. Listen to me. It's not what I asked you. I asked you how much it cost you to fix the air conditioning.
It cost us $618.
Okay, so that's less than $1,000.
Correct.
So far, the defendant is in the clear.
Correct.
In what month did you have the air conditioning fixed?
On the 7/21, so within 3 days.
Good. A couple of days.
Yes.
And the car was running okay until that time?
We actually didn't drive it except to the air conditioning shop, which is less than a mile from our apartment.
Okay. And you picked it up on the 21st?
We picked it up on the 22nd.
When did you, again, have trouble with the car?
So the following day, the 23rd, we got in the car to take it to our mechanic. And as soon as we got on the freeway, the check engine light turned on. We felt unsafe continuing. Our mechanic is about 40 minutes away. So we turned back and went to our house. That was the first time we had driven it, even on the freeway. And so the following morning, we took it back to the same mechanic that had done the air conditioning repairs. And that's when we found, we got two estimates for the transmission ranging from $4,200 to $6,200 for a rebuilt pinion from a different shop with an estimate of $4,800.
Okay, do you have those estimates?
I do.
I'd like to see them, please.
So this one is for the brand new transmission.
Okay.
This one is for the rebuilt transmission at the same shop.
Okay.
And this one is from the second place we got additional opinion from.
Okay, all more than $1,000.
Yes.
On what date did you call the defendant?
I shot her a text message that afternoon asking for her email.
On the 23rd?
On the 24th.
On the 20th?
Yes. She did not respond, so on the 25th, we sent her a piece of registered mail and a text message with all of the estimates, as well as a demand letter asking for our money back in return for the car. And we never heard from her.
Where is the car now?
It's still parked in our parking spot. It hasn't moved.
Is the car currently registered in your name?
It is.
You bought the car 3 months before you sold it to them, is that right?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Who did you buy it from?
I purchased it from a shop in Vista, where I live.
Name of the shop, and tell me why you purchased it.
The owner there, I purchased a different vehicle from him previously, and I'd paid off that vehicle. And when I paid off the other vehicle before the Elantra, when I went to go pay off the vehicle, he said, I have a better vehicle for you if you'd like to get out of the older one. And I said, sure, because the other vehicle that I was driving didn't look great, and I was ready to go into the new Elantra. So that's why I purchased it from him.
Okay, and how much did you pay him for it?
$6,800.
And you had it for 3 months?
That's right.
And you sold it for how much?
$4,600.
You want to tell me why after 3 months you took a $2,100 loss on the car, Ms. Donges?
I purchased another vehicle, a BMW from an auto auction here in L.A. for a very good price. It's what I always wanted, a German car. And I did that on June 6th because I didn't really expect to find the car I wanted by going to that auction, but I did. And when I brought it home, I'm only allotted one car spot to park my car where I rent a room.
Is there a lien on the car that you sold to the plaintiffs?
No lien.
Is there a lien on the car?
There was a lien on the car, yes.
There was, not there is.
There what?
There was, because I was purchasing that other vehicle, the Hyundai Elantra.
Listen to me carefully.
Okay.
On the car that you sold to the plaintiffs, was there a lien? Who is the lien holder?
Advanced Auto, the shop.
How much?
It was $4,640 was what I had to pay.
Did you pay them off?
Yes.
Just a second. Did you pay them?
Yes.
Is my question. Did you pay them?
Absolutely, yes.
Did you pay Advanced Auto?
Yes.
Is that correct, that you got a clear title to the car when you registered it?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you paid $4,600 for the car?
Yes.
Is that correct? And you want your money back?
Yes, ma'am.
And pursuant to the contract, Ms. Donges, they are entitled to their money back because in order to fix the car, to make it drivable, they have to spend more than $1,000. You signed the agreement. You sold this car within a couple of months. Something doesn't smell right to me. Ordinarily, you do understand that when you buy a used car, you buy it as it is. Just for my own information, what prompted you to put in that caveat in the contract that said if any of the mechanics need fixing in excess of $1,000, without a date, by the way? It doesn't say within a week, within a month. It just says, $1,000. What prompted you to put that in?
So typically when I have bought cars in the past, I like to have a mechanic look. I could not meet until 7:30, so I felt a little uncomfortable not having a mechanic able to look at it, so I thought that might just protect us.
That's very good, because I was going to say, good idea when buying a used car to have a mechanic check it out.
Yeah.
But in this case, the contract is clear. You're entitled to your money back. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,600. Thank you. We're done.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
Well, we're very happy to get our money back and finally be able to put this behind us and move on.
I've learned do not sign anything that's kind of open-ended like that.
With the transmission issue, we don't know what's going to happen. I'm not a car mechanic, and I don't know that.
That said, they got a really good deal for the $4,600, and if they didn't want the vehicle...
And we were trusting heavily with what our mechanics was saying.
Perhaps they should have put a for sale sign up there, because there's nothing wrong with the transmission.
We wanted to make sure all of our T's and I's were dots and crossed so we could make sure we have a safe vehicle for my family.
There was just nothing wrong with the transmission. There was maybe some buyer's remorse.
The first time when I was driving it to get it looked at and the check engine light came on.
That I understand now whenever I purchase a vehicle and it says at the bottom as is.
Definitely have your mechanic look at it next time, even though we have a great contract.
That's for a reason. I will never do this again.
It would have saved a lot of time and energy if we would have met at a mechanic.
All parties in the matter of Curlin versus Morrell
is suing fellow motorist Jeremiah Morrell for backing into his car in a convenience store parking lot.
Mr. Curlin.
Yes, Your Honor.
Each one of you claimed that an automobile accident that occurred in a parking lot was the fault of the other. And according to what I read, this automobile accident happened on January 20th of this year.
That's correct.
And you were driving a 2019 Honda.
That's correct.
Do you own it or lease it?
I own it.
When did you purchase it?
I believe November of 2019.
You bought it new?
It was used. 6,000 miles on it.
Who did you buy it from?
Norm Reeves Honda in Huntington Beach.
Did you pay cash for it?
No.
Or do you have a loan on it?
I have a loan on it.
You have a loan on it?
Yes.
And who holds the loan?
Honda Finance.
And in your agreement with Honda Finance, you have to maintain insurance, both liability and collision.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you have insurance?
I did.
And what was the deductible on your insurance?
$1,000.
Okay, so that your claim for $5,000 is sort of ridiculous. right? Because you had the car fixed, I assume.
I got the car fixed. The number is contingent on what I had to go through.
I don't care what you...
Okay.
It's a car accident, sir. It's a car accident. It's not a hanging. So you had a $1,000 deductible.
Correct.
Did you pay the $1,000? Did you pay?
Yes.
Yes, and you paid them by check?
By card. I have the receipt right here.
By credit card. And the credit card says $1,000?
Yes, Your Honor.
Show me.
I also have a bank statement.
This accident happened in January, and you didn't have the car fixed until June.
Correct.
Any reason for that?
I had to save the money to pay for it.
Save what money?
The $1,000
for the deductible.
Correct.
Okay. Very good. So now that we figured out that $5,000 is not the right figure, you're actually suing for $1,000, which is your deductible. You went to a convenience store where this accident took place in the parking lot. Was anybody in the car with you?
Yes. My coworker, Dave, was in the car in the front passenger seat with me.
Okay, good. I'm going to hear from him in a moment.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I asked him if he was okay. He said, yeah, he's fine. He asked me if I was okay. I said, yeah. He also mentioned that his brother has a body shop and that we can go and get it fixed right now.
Does your brother have a body shop?
No.
Just a second. Does your brother have a body shop?
No, that's incorrect.
Who do you know that has a body shop?
Graham Curlin said backed out of a parking spot and backed into his car.
What time of the day did you arrive in the parking lot to go to the convenience store?
Around 12:30.
What did you buy?
I believe some water. I was on my lunch break from work.
Had you had lunch?
I did. And we went there.
What did you have for lunch?
Del Taco, right across the parking lot.
So what did you go to the convenience store for?
To get water.
They didn't have that at the taco place?
No, not bottled water to take back to work.
Okay. Did you want the bottled water, or did your friend Dave?
I believe he got some items, but I went there to get a beverage for myself.
And you got it and got back into the car?
Correct.
And you were parked alongside other cars, so you started to back out?
Correct.
You have the diagram. I'd like it put up. Good. So you are one parking slip away from the defendant. Was there a car parked in between you and the defendant?
There was.
So that's missing a car, a green car, in between plaintiff and defendant. There was one car missing.
Correct.
In that diagram.
Correct.
Okay. So you pulled out backwards and you were proceeding to exit the parking lot.
Correct.
And at what point did you see the defendant starting to back out?
As soon as I had view of his truck that he was pulling out, at that point I applied my brakes to a complete stop.
Just 1 second. What kind of car was parked in between?
A sedan.
Do you remember?
I don't remember exactly what it was. It was a sedan, though.
It was a sedan?
Yes.
Do you remember, sir?
Yeah, it was a van.
It was a van?
Yeah.
So a big car?
Yeah.
So when you saw him starting to pull out, you applied your brakes?
Correct.
What happened next?
I held my horn down without lifting it up. My car was completely stopped. I had my horn down. His truck continued to back out. I'm assuming he did not hear me. His trailer hitch impacted my grill, where he did not stop. He continued until his bumper pushed up my hood. I have the evidence of the pictures of what the car looks like afterwards. But at that point, he stopped his car. I saw the reverse lights go, and then he went back into his spot. I pulled right next to him. Me and the witness, my coworker, got out of the car. I asked him if he was okay. He said, yeah, he's fine. He asked me if I was okay. I said, yeah. And then what had happened is his phone didn't work, and so he wanted me to take pictures of everything and send it to him. He also mentioned that his brother has a body shop and that we can go and get it fixed right now.
Does your brother have a body shop?
No.
Just a second. Does your brother have a body shop?
No, that's incorrect.
Who do you know that has a body shop?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I backed him behind, pulled back into my spot. I turned all my stuff into my insurance. My insurance did their due diligence and decided a no fault for both parties.
He's leaving out a bunch of information.
Okay, good. Just a second.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Graham Curlin says fellow motorist Jeremiah Morrell backed out of a parking spot and backed into his car.
Does your brother have a body shop?
No.
Just a second. Does your brother have a body shop?
No, that's incorrect.
Who do you know that has a body shop?
My brother owns a car dealership, and I suggested that he does have body shops.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. All right.
So, and he's a witness to that as well. And I said,
I believe, so far I'm believing you. You don't have to worry. So far I'm believing you.
All right. So I said I couldn't do that. I'm on my lunch break. I have to go back to work. And then he said, okay, let's just let our insurance take care of it. And I was okay. And I asked him at that point, are you admitting fault? And he said, yes. And I also have my witness here to attest to that. We got back into the car. I went back to work. He left.
Well, did you exchange insurance information and license and registration?
Yes, I have pictures.
You did that?
Yes, I have pictures of all that. Would you like to see them?
Okay. I'd like to see photographs of your car.
Okay. These are sideways.
Where the initial impact was on the grill and on the bumper?
Oh, right here.
Yeah. I want to know, you said first his car, the trailer hitch, hit the grill or the bumper. Which was it? I don't remember.
It was the trailer hitch. The trailer hitch impacted my grill.
Your grill?
Yes, and then it continued until his bumper
continued to go back.
Yeah, because he has like a 2002 Silverado, and so it's higher off the ground. And what you see here is where the bumper hit the hood and pushed it up. And this is another image of my hood, like where it ended up. It ended up.
Okay. So would you take that top picture away and go to the one right before it? Show me. Point on the picture. It's more towards one side. It's not right in the middle. Is that correct?
Oh, where the bumper did?
Yes.
Yes.
It's more towards one side.
It's on the right side.
Right. I got it.
Because he wasn't completely pulled out. Okay.
That's enough. Perfect. No, I got it. Okay. Story.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by. Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Okay. Story.
I came into the 7-Eleven and I'd gone inside to grab myself a Red Bull. Then I came back outside, got into my truck, and I was struck from behind, pulled back into my spot, like he said.
Absolutely.
We exchanged information, and I turned all my stuff into my insurance. My insurance did their due diligence, went through all the information, and decided a no fault for both parties.
He's leaving out a bunch of information.
Okay, good. Just a second. You backed out and you didn't see his little car. That's what happened. You backed out and you didn't see his little car.
I backed out
and
I looked both ways and I didn't see his car, and he was in a hurry going through the parking lot.
You didn't see his... No. You backed out and didn't see his car, sir. That's what happened.
Okay.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. We're finished. Thank you very much.
Parties are excused.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
You were laid off because of COVID?
A couple says the virus left them vulnerable.
You were illegally locked out.
She threatened to punch me in the face.
Judge Judy.
I think the accidents happen, and I turned mine into my insurance. I gladly paid my $1,000 deductible. He could have done the same. He tried to fight it. He didn't want to pay his $1,000 deductible.
I think she's right on. She made a good choice.
I'm happy that he got his $1,000. He's got his car fixed.
You know, no one really has any integrity these days.
I love how of the $2,800.
I asked for his insurance.
That was the damage. He sued me for $10,000 so him and his buddies could...
And he gave me an old insurance card.
Collaborate together and take a little vacation.
Police do not show up unless there's an injury on site.
But I think it's ridiculous that he's trying to sue me for an extra $8,000 for loss of wages. I bet he doesn't make $8,000.